Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
For months now, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi had promised the release of documents on the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, which she said could reveal damaging details. She drummed up anticipation over the files, which have long been a source of speculation and conspiracy theories. But on Monday this week, a memo by the Justice Department undercut the Attorney General's statements, pouring cold water on these baseless claims. It amounted to a conclusion which was reached many years ago by investigators. The crux of the conclusion is that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself while he was in a Manhattan jail awaiting trial. This is what the memo said, and I quote, "The systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. The Justice Department did not uncover any evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties," unquote. In the past 6 years since his death in 2019, the case of Jeffrey Epstein has become a public obsession for a segment of Trump's MAGA supporters. Some of them have accused two of Trump's senior-most advisors, Pam Bondi, who is the Attorney General, and the FBI Director Kash Patel, of slow-walking the review and the release of the Epstein files. A release of related documents back in February, which Bondi once again had hyped up, fell flat. It drew widespread criticism, as much of the information in those files was already in the public domain. While many had been waiting for what Bondi declared Phase 2 of the release of the Epstein files, this new memo by the Justice Department sought to end any such expectations. It included an hour-long video whose existence was previously disclosed. This was at the hallway outside of Epstein's jail cell. Except that the video itself does not show much.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
The video released by Bondi and Patel appears to have a missing minute just before midnight that night. The digital clock on the screen jumps from 11:58 p.m. to 12 midnight. Officials do not exactly have an explanation for this apparent gap and this drop of a minute.
We released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night.
The memo goes on to chide those who've pushed their own conspiracy theories of what crimes may have gone unpunished in the Epstein parties. Epstein was accused of paying young underage girls for sexual acts, often under the guise of getting a massage. Back in February, when asked on Fox News about the so-called client list, Pam Bondi replied that it was sitting right on her desk right now for her review. Asked about the seeming contradiction at a news conference back on Monday, the White House spokeswoman Carolyn Levitt said that Pam Bondi was referring to the entirety of the Epstein case file. She, in fact, as expected, got pilloried by reporters.
The FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was
What?
saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that.
Even before the official release of the Epstein files, the Trump administration has been facing criticism for its handling of the issue. Billionaire Elon Musk posted disapprovingly on social media back on Monday that no one had been arrested in the Epstein case. In fact, Epstein himself was arrested, and his longtime assistant was charged, tried, and sentenced to prison for her role in the abuse of minors. And last month, as Elon Musk engaged in a vicious public feud with President Donald Trump, the world's richest man had suggested that Donald Trump had something to lose with the release of the Epstein records. He even accused Trump of being in the Epstein files, something which he later retracted. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had crossed paths over the years, both of them being regular fixtures on the wealthy social circles of New York. In fact, in 2002, in an interview with New York Magazine, Trump had said that he had known Epstein for 15 years. He called him a terrific guy who was a lot of fun to be with. Now, Trump's top investigators and top prosecutors are having to defend a man who his base thinks is guilty as charged in these sexual exploits of minors.